So I thought it'd be nice to talk about a new feature that we're bringing to Microsoft 365 Office Embedded for Monday.com. So we've got a few automations and a few different features for the product, but we're bringing a new thing, which is document generation. Sorry, that's templated document generation. So for example, over here on the left, we've got a template within Word, and this is stored on SharePoint. And we've got another template over here. We've got one which is a quote and one which is an invoice. So it'd be really nice if we could automate creation of invoices and quotes from, say, a status change or a button click, and then save those documents up to SharePoint Online, and then whenever a new one's created, you'll get a history within SharePoint Online for each of those. So let's just set this up. So if we go into Integrate and search for Microsoft 365, we can see when button clicked, read a document template and save it to a document in SharePoint. So let's just open that one up. So when button click, so we're going to go with create quote, and we're going to look in a SharePoint site. We've got one called Monday site, and I'm looking for invoice. We've got this Word template invoice. So this is saved in our SharePoint site. So that's actually, we don't want the invoice, we wanted the quote one. So Word template quote, and we're going to save that as quote, and that's going to be saved to SharePoint. It's going to be saved to the particular place that's already configured within SharePoint for that item. So we create that, and we'll just have one more. So this time we're going to say create an invoice. So when the button create invoice is clicked, we go to our Monday site and we read our invoice template, and it's always good to have a unique name here, and then we save that as invoice this time, and we create that automation. So now we can just close this. So what this is going to do is it's going to read the line items here and put them down here. It's going to put the prices out of the columns, and then it's going to sum them up and put them down here. It's also going to take the dates, the invoice, the item ID, and some various different items from the original field, and then create that invoice. So if we just go over to create quote, we can see an automation is running, and now it says it's completed. So if we open this up and have a look at our configured folder here, we can now see that quote.docx has just been created. We can have a look at that, and we can see that the quote has taken all the details from the various places within the Monday board and populated it here. So that's the quote. Obviously, after you've got a quote and the quote's been approved, we want to create an invoice. So we're now clicking on that. The automation kicks off. I think that shows under here. Now it says the automation's completed. So if we just open this again and reload that, we can now say we've got an invoice there, and the invoice should look like this invoice template. So just do that again. The invoice. Here we are. Is the invoice. So now we've got the salesperson, the description, the invoice number this time, and some different things. So there we are. That's a nice way of creating and saving invoices and quotes and all manner of different templated documents within SharePoint. Now, the other good thing about this is if we were to rename these things and then trigger, let's trigger the quote again. It's going to fire that up. It says it's running, it says it's completed. So now we go over here and look at the quote, and the quote will have updated. So it's overwritten the original quote. But if you want to go back and have a look at the history, we can open this and say in the quote, we can say, actually, I want to have a look at the version history, and we can see we've got a couple of versions, and you can download the previous one, view and download the previous ones and see what's going on. So that's a nice feature of this.